Good afternoon everyone, this is Chris Ensor at Richmond Farm. Yeah, just thought I'd give a little bit of an update on the second graze of the pasture crop and the fact we're putting these, the twins, the main twin mob, the early twin mob, and well, they're kind of putting themselves in here with the help of Amelia, kind of. Stop there please Amelia, quiet thanks. We got the pup along for the ride today as well. Yeah, anyway, this is the first paddock they grazed when we, of all the pasture crop paddocks. They didn't have any taste for the lupins at all, so I think they barely touched the lupins. They knocked a few down, that they barely touched them. They did demolish the oats, but if you look here you can see that the oats have grown back quite well, particularly where they're running over now. I think that's probably because they flattened them from the same direction last time, so that didn't grow, didn't get eaten quite as much. But yeah, they didn't get onto the beans completely either. You can see the crimson clovers come back pretty well. There's some vetch, it's a bit slow. It's a bit slow, but it's still there. Is there some crimson? No, that's just white clover. There's some more crimson here. Fair bit of crimson in there. Lupins are all starting to flower, which is quite nice. This is definitely the better end of the paddock because it's where the stock camp. Further across, there's less. It was less successful, I guess. Lower fertility, probably lower grazing residual maybe as well before sowing. Amelia's doing a really good job of flattening. Amelia, you don't need to stand on them, please. Amelia, come here. Come on. Oi, Amelia. She's got ears like my dog sometimes, I think. Selective hearing. Anyway, this mob, I'm actually forgetting the number in this mob. I think it might be about 350 odd. Just looking at my notebook, 330 ewes. Amelia, you don't need to flatten it at all. 330 odd ewes with their twins. We had a pretty good survival rate this year with the twins. Good weather mostly for this cycle of the lambing. The second cycle has had a few more storms, but the first cycle was actually really good. And yeah, I guess we're going on to here for the weekend. This is a bit of a lazy break, not very tight. So we'll let them kind of pick a few of the eyes out of this paddock for the weekend. They've only just been tailed in the last few days, so they kind of, that was a bit of a shock to them. They'd settled in the paddock before this for a few days, and now they'll settle in this one over the weekend, and then we'll join these with the main single mob next week and start a proper rotation with at least 2 moves a day, up to 4 at this rate. And this paddock we may even leave, just because it's got some of this pasture crop species in here. It might be quite nice to let them grow a bit, so we may even skip them out of the first rotation. We'll see how that goes. They'll at least be at the end of it, as in day 20 to 24 or something like that. And so if it's growing well, we'll go back to the start and miss these. So anyway, I guess that's about that. Yeah, we'll leave you with a nice patch of lupins. Looking at these, it'll be really nice in a few days when these all come to flower properly. And yeah, this is actually a good little patch with some quite good crimson. In fact, that's looking like very tasty feed in general. Hey Amelia, there's a little pink gumboot, isn't it Amelia? So yeah, we'll leave you with that. I'm quite impressed with how well the crimson clovers ended up coming through. It didn't look like there was much here, but it's come through all right after a reasonable spell. All right, we're pretty much mid-September, the 18th of September. The grass is growing. We've had quite a cold start to September, but still grass is growing, just not extremely fast. But yeah, shaping up to be a good spring.